want to talk today about something called the curse of knowledge. And I think a good example of this I'll use will be, for example, if I was to say to you, I'll see it at the football, normal time, normal place. That's going to be problematic unless you know what I mean. So, what football? What's the normal time? Where's the normal place? So if I was to say, okay, I'll see you at Plymouth Argyle, I'll meet you at Home Park, 7:30 on Tuesday, that would be much more information. We'd probably much less likely to get confused about that. And that's the curse of knowledge, the idea that sometimes we think people know more than they do. Tim Harford did an excellent podcast on this recently in his Cautionary Tales podcast, where he talks about the curse of knowledge in the case of the Charge of the Light Brigade. The Charge of the Light Brigade was a famous battle during the Crimean War when the British marched into a valley of Russian cannons. Well, actually, most of the cannons were British. They'd stolen these cannons. And they rode into this valley and they got obliterated. 700 men just wiped out. Very few of them coming back. And what had happened was that the general had given an order, and that order had been very confusing. It said something along the lines of, attack the second hill on the left, take the redoubt that the Russians have taken. Well, the captain who received that knowledge, he had to wonder, well, who's left? My left or your left? Where are we starting from? Because remember, the general's right back somewhere. So where are we starting from? What's left here? Second hill? There's lots of hills here. Second hill from where? Russian redoubt? Well, that's a British redoubt. He didn't know that the Russians had taken that fort that morning. So, of course, he had all the wrong information. He knew he had the wrong information, but he had to follow orders. That's part of the curse of knowledge, is being afraid to challenge what the information is that you've received. So they rode in, very famous poem by Tennyson, gets written about this stupid act where these soldiers just go to their deaths without challenging this law. All those men, Raglan, Nolan, Lord Lucan, they're all well remembered for this blunder. The curse of knowledge today can be applied in lots of different ways. In education, for example, if a teacher is giving out some information, the curse of knowledge can kick in there because they may not understand the perspective or position of their student. They may think the student's learning something that they're not quite getting. And that can lead to a real problem. In academia, we have something called peer review. So if I want to publish something, every time I've had anything published, at least two experts who I don't know will read the paper. They will send the paper back with lots of things I need to change or proof. I send it back again. It comes back again with lots more information and back and forth until eventually it's considered worthy of publishing because it has all the information in the right place. Some people take advantage of the curse of knowledge. Marketeers, for example, they want you to be slightly getting the wrong information, less information than you need, because that works in their favor. So they know that most people aren't going out there to do their additional research. So there's a good example of using the curse of knowledge to an advantage. Influencers, lifestyle gurus, they use this in a really interesting way. Influencers are often very much like preachers. You know, they stand there, they sound authoritative, they give out information. Most people listening to that information aren't going up and checking on it. So that's the curse of knowledge in that situation. And of course, at times like these, when, you know, we have a global pandemic and we have social media that's spreading lots of conspiracy theories, things like that, the curse of knowledge is used by bad actors to create disinformation. So we end up with foreign agents pretending to be people on the internet to kind of change people's ideas in elections. Cambridge Analytica, for example, used disinformation in the run up to Brexit, and we could talk about the way that the 2016 election in America worked, in which actors definitely got involved, and maybe how much did that have an influence on Trump getting in, things like that. So that's the curse of knowledge. One way we could counter the curse of knowledge is to think about Socrates' famous maxim, I know only that I know nothing. If we started from that position where every piece of information we were ever given, we determined to look at it deeply and to discern further and further, more and more information, to unpack that, then perhaps we could somehow alleviate that curse of knowledge.